Welcome everyone. CUDOS is a layer 1 blockchain and layer 2 community governed compute network designed to ensure that decentralized permissionless access to high performance computing at scale. So we're going to be discussing the network's mainnet launch and what it means for the community, but more specifically, what's coming now. So joining me are Ethan Illingworth, the head of blockchain, and David Pugh-Jones, the chief marketing officer. Gentlemen, great to have you with us. David, I'm going to start with you. Could you give us some insight into why this is a game changer for the entire blockchain industry as a whole?
Well, firstly, thank you for having me. Great to be here and great to talk about what we're up to. I mean, essentially, we'll be powering the metaverse. I mean, bringing together DeFi, NFTs, gaming experiences, you pretty much name it, to realize a vision that we've been working on for a long, long time. And that vision really is of decentralized Web 3.0. At the same time, we'd be enabling everyone to benefit from the growth of our network, which is equally exciting. And essentially, we're an interoperable open platform launchpad that's going to provide the infrastructure required to meet the 1000x computing needs for the creation of fully immersive experience and gamified digital realities. And I know it sounds like a bit of a mouthful, but it's an incredible place to be right now. And this is definitely something that everyone should be excited about.
Amazing. Great start and way to build the excitement there too. Ethan, I'd like you to jump in as well. Can you tell us about the journey that it took to get to this point?
Yeah, sure. So it's been an exciting journey, and it's cool to see some of this paying off at this point. So, as a company, Kudo has been building in this space for quite a few years. Some more off-chain components, but the Kudo network product that we're talking about here has been in private development since last year. We opened a four-phase public test net towards the end of last year and had some really good uptake on that. That was about engaging the community and finding any of the bugs that we might have had in the software, and generally improving the product in a big public forum with everyone getting involved. So we had something like 22,000 developers sign up for that program, and had some really good interactions with the folks on the ground there, which just managed to make us improve the product as we built it out in the public. So we're sort of rounding off all of that testing and that public testnet phase at the moment now, and looking to go live with the mainnet shortly.
Outstanding. Okay, so building off of that a little bit, getting a bit deeper on the testnet itself, what were some of the key challenges you faced and overcame to get to this point, Ethan?
Yeah, so this was the first time that we really opened up the software to the public and let them see what we've been building. So it was really about improving some of those pieces of documentation for software developers, making sure that we had things for everybody's systems, all these different configurations, and then interacting with the validator pool. So we built a really strong, vibrant validator pool in these last few months, people that already validate on other chains and also some newcomers. So some of those challenges were really about onboarding this new community and making sure that they're all familiar with how the software works and how to interface with us. So yeah, we've been working really hard on building out that community piece with our Discord servers and building out monitoring for the network that we've been building, so we can actually see what's happening as people play around with it. Yeah, it's been really interesting. It's been really challenging, obviously, fixing some of these things. We're using quite nascent software, so it's always interesting seeing what people find. But yeah, it's been an interesting experience and nice to come through this other side of it.
No doubt, leading us right into another point, talking about the awareness. Obviously, like you said, quite the experience getting to this point. But as you arrived at this point, right, talking about the community and the engagement of all of this, David, I'm going to swing this over to you. What was the role of marketing in the build up to the mainnet?
Well, I'd like to firstly say that I think we've made a significant effort in the culmination of the last 4 years in the making, which is incredible, really, where we started and where we've come from. And equally, we couldn't do it with the talent and experience of the incredible team that Ethan has behind him. So yeah, I mean, look, it's a crucial role. I mean, clearly we've got to tell a story, we've got to communicate, we've got to make sure everyone's on a journey with us. We've got to make sure that everyone is equally as excited and as passionate about it, not just both internally, but also everyone out there that wants to tell our story on our behalf. And beyond keeping our communities informed and involved throughout the entire experience, across all of those communication channels, we've had the privilege of collaborating with and featuring in some pretty epic publications that want to tell our story, such as yourselves. And you've helped us to obviously reach a wider audience. But the other thing, actually, I think we should probably touch on is the amount of people that are jumping into our world: partners, collaborators, validators, tech entrepreneurs, advisors. everyone wants to get involved, and everyone's telling that story for us. So we're pretty proud about that, and we're excited to continue the momentum. That's for sure.
Amazing. Okay, so David, you mentioned the word excited there. Ethan, I'd like to pivot back to you. Tell us what you're most excited about looking into the future. Now that you're live and you have everything going on, it's a very exciting time, but what's top priority and what are you really looking forward to the most?
Yeah, thanks. I think there's lots to choose from there. I guess the most immediate one for me is probably the open and interoperable nature of everything that we've built here. We have an agnostic smart contract platform available, so anybody can come on and deploy an application. So we're talking like a commercial entity or even a hobbyist at home can come along and try this out, starting with the testnet and then into production. I guess beyond that, we also have some really nice efficiencies related to NFTs, our native implementation there. We've really optimized the gas fees there, so it's very cheap to use, and obviously we're a proof of stake, so a carbon neutral chain there as well. It's going to be really cool to see what kind of creativity folks running those kind of projects come up with and to see the results. So I'm quite looking forward to that. I would say another point is really related to the token as well. So increase utility for the token, so people can come along and actually stake that token against a validator, delegating their staking power there, and also participating in governance votes. So we'll be running these kind of proposals with the system every time we do an upgrade or every time we make a change on one of the parameters. We'll engage the community on that, so you can really get involved at this point. I guess beyond that, ultimately we're also really looking forward to seeing the mainnet integrate some of the off-chain compute components that we're working on, so really allowing developers to come along and utilize the power of our compute network to increase some of their computational power within smart contracts, and all of that will be scalable and cost effective in the way that we're building it, and it's going to be quite exciting to see that start to get layered in.
Absolutely sounds very exciting. Can't wait to see this happen. David, I'll pivot back to you for some final thoughts here as we close out. What's really exciting and on your radar as we move forward here in 2022?
Well, I think Ethan summed it up, and the experience and talent that we've got on the ground is just absolutely incredible. And we want to say a huge thank you to the team internally, but also to our super passionate community, because we wouldn't be where we are today without them. We've gone so far in such a short period of time, and we've had the support of thousands of developers, validators, brand ambassadors, influencers, advisors. The list is just endless, and they just continue to support us along the way and help us grow and learn and evolve. The mainnet launch is a milestone, not just for us, but actually for the entire industry. And that's something that we're rather proud of, to say the least. So we'd like to invite everyone that we can to come and visit CUDOS.org, start building the foundations of a decentralized, sustainable and connected world, and help us with the network and change so many people's lives in the future.
That's great. Wonderful to hear. Both of you, thank you for joining us. Ethan Illingworth, the head of blockchain, David Pugh-Jones, chief marketing officer. Gentlemen, very excited to watch this come to life. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.